Um, excuse me. First and foremost, let me say our thoughts and prayers are with everyone down in the Carolina, Georgia area. Obviously, just for 3.5 hours, we just had tremendous amount of fun. But we got to get back to reality, and there is something going on that's bigger than football. Talked to Coach Clark after the game. I said, for you guys to come out and battle through these circumstances is phenomenal. So our concerns and thoughts go out to the people in that Carolina, Georgia region that's been affected by the storms. Secondly, I usually come work out at about 5:30 in the morning. And there's a guy in there that's been tremendous to this program, this university, Randy Dunphy. He told me today, he and I are the only two in the weight room. I was going at a slow pace, trust me. He and I are the only two in the weight room. He told me today would have been his son's 42nd birthday. And those of you guys who know Randy Dunphy and know what happened to his son, I don't know if there's a more committed person to this university and this football program than Randy. So I told him, I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get you one for your son today. So that was a big weight lifted off of him. Thirdly, I couldn't be more proud of this entire football program than I am right now. To battle from December, not a great season, pick fifth, don't know about this, and to just continue to battle. Trust me, we got more to get cleaned up than there's hours and minutes in a day. But these kids are special. They bought into this program. They bought into this culture. Really proud. We had a long way to go, trust me. But that team's supposed to be the best team in the conference. 9, 10 all-conference players, offensive player of the year, picked to win the East. Really good receivers, stout defense, history and tradition of winning. And our guys just showed up. That was the challenge today. Focus on what we can control and show up. And I told them after the game, now we've showed the world what we already knew. Now we've got to be able to continue to do that, continue to improve, continue to get better in certain areas. We got a lot of areas to get cleaned up. But really proud of players today, really proud. We got about 6 or 7 more hours and we got to flip the page. But really, really proud of the players. Coaches, staff, everybody involved, trainers, doctors, everybody.
Yeah, two-part question. One, the decision to start Braxton over Stone, and two, is there an update on Stone if he's? I know he was available today, but
Stone is 100%. Coach Huff did a little bit of what do you call it? Preparation, coaching. I didn't know if what they had going on situationally, if they'd have time to go back and look at, Braylon Braxton Tulsa film, Braylon Braxton high school film, like we would do for a quarterback that's, 2 quarterbacks. So I didn't know if they knew if he could run. So I rolled the dice and threw the curveball. Stone was perfectly fine today. We threw the curveball. We're trying to win. There's no starting anything. There's a winning group, and whatever play we need you to get in and win, you go in and win. I told you guys at the beginning of the year I thought we had 3 capable quarterbacks. I threw the curveball today. They were out on the front foot. Weren't able to really kind of have a plan for Braxton. Now we've got options. Stone's perfectly fine today. Actually, the plan was to throw the curveball in the first half and then go back to the fastball. The curveball was working so well, we figured, let's not heat this thing up. And honestly, that's what happened. We were going to play Braylon a good portion of it to try to kind of mix it up a little bit. We really haven't shown Braylon doing much of what he truly can do. The kind of times he's come in the game have been 4 or 5 plays here, 4 or 5 plays there. We thought, for us, when we look at 2 quarterback options, we kind of look at everything, right? We go back and we look at what they do in high school. We look at what they did at their previous school. And I didn't know if they'd have time to do that. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't know if they had time to do that with all that's going on. So I said, you know what, let's give Braylon the first couple series, see if they got a plan for the running game. If they have a plan for it, great. We always go to Stone. We kind of got both of them. Braylon did a phenomenal job of making some plays. I mean, he made some plays today. Even to the point where we didn't have to get to the throws with him. We had some throws that were, on deck, but he made some plays with his legs. He was tough. He rallied the troops. Him and Stone did a phenomenal job of talking on the sideline. Like I say, the plan was to kind of go back to Stone in the second half. We kind of said, hey, it's working. Let's stick with it. We had some throws ready, but didn't feel like, we needed to do that. I thought the O-line did a phenomenal job of keeping them upright, finishing blocks. So that was it. Stone is perfectly healthy. Now, Braylon may be bruised up tomorrow after a few runs. But no, I honestly, just a little coaching preparation, a little strategy. It worked out today. So really proud of the coaches for getting both guys ready. Really proud of both guys for understanding that it ain't about how many games I start or who's the starter. It's about winning. So I commend both of those guys. Cole as well, because, Cole was kind of, hey, if something happens and you're the next guy, you got to be ready with, as well. So really proud of those guys. I thought Coach Deggy did a phenomenal job calling the game to his strengths. I thought he did a really good job of adjusting to with the hot hand, because there were some times where, hey, he'd like to throw the ball here, but, oh, shoot, Braylon pops the first down run. Well, that changes it. So I thought he did a really good job. Really, really happy with the entire buy-in from everybody. Not, who should start or why am I starting, when am I getting in? No, Coach, let him go. So really proud of him.
Coach, you talked a little bit during the week to us about being opportunistic on defense, and Jacorian with that may have been the play of the game. I thought it kind of changed the tempo, and Jacoby gets one. Every time you guys needed something, you answered and kept them at bay, knowing that they weren't going to quit.
Yeah, we talked about it. That team's got a tradition of winning, so they're never out of it. And when you got those kind of players offensively, quarterback, wide receiver, you're always one play away. So we talked about it. We were going to need turnovers. Turnovers and kills kind of go hand in hand for us. So kills are 3 consecutive possessions without points. So if one kill to us equals 1 turnover, because we've been out there 3 times and you've got no points, we should be offensively moving the ball and scoring points in there. So we felt like we were going to need 3 turnovers or 3 kills. I think we got 2 turnovers and 1 kill today. So again, we talked about it. When you play these type of games, batting the ball down does nothing for us. You have to catch it. Being a DB and doing the strapped, batting the ball down does nothing for us, because you're giving the ball back to a really good offense. You're giving the ball back to a really good, receiving core. So you have to pick it off. I thought Jacorian did a great job of being aggressive and attacking the ball. I thought, Kobe did a great job of attacking the ball. We got to get more of those. That's the one thing we haven't got a lot of. We got to get more of those. So really happy with that production. We got to continue to play the ball in the air a little bit better. It's been something that's plagued us versus this team just because of how many deep balls they throw. Not many teams throw as many deep balls as these guys do. We got to get better at that. We got to get better at matching some of the routes, down the field. We got to get better at matching some of the personnel. A lot of things we got to improve on. Offensively, I think we missed an opportunity. We were 5 of 8 on third down. We got to get better, than that, because obviously when you can stay on the field on third down, you're in a good spot. So yeah.
And Jordan Houston, I thought he did so many good things for you today. I think that first catch of his for 75 was the first completion for Braylon. So
yeah,
he was everywhere.
Yeah, we kind of – you got to have thick skin to be in this program, because we challenge you. We kind of asked him, okay, AJ's – kind of hit some home runs. Are you good with singles? Are you good with bunting? Or are you a home run hitter? And we talked to him, and we just challenged him. Hey, when you get the ball in your hands, you got to go make some plays. I thought he did some good things on kickoff return as well. And again, it's just trying. We talked about it. I never felt like in these last 4 games we were all clicking on all cylinders, all 3 sides of the ball. Not perfect, right? Clicking on all cylinders doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but you're getting turnovers, you're getting stops. You're offensively, you're getting explosive plays. I talked to the offense about it. With this type of offense, you don't have to create an explosive play by throwing the ball 80 yards down the field. You got to throw an efficient pass or have an efficient run block on the perimeter, and put the ball in the end zone. So I thought we did that today. I was really happy for Jordan because he was in a little bit of a slump. I told him, I said, okay, you're going to have to choke up on the bat here and just get the ball in play at some point. But that should build him some confidence in him. Should build some more weapons, offensively for us to be able to use and take the next step. Trust me, I'm not sitting here saying that we won the national championship today. But today we're 1-0, and those kids busted their tail this week. Probably the best week of preparation we've ever had. And I'm not just talking about practice. I'm talking about guys watching film, guys taking care of their body, guys challenging each other at practice, guys with the right focus in practice. I'm talking Monday to Friday. I was actually scared Friday in the walkthrough because they were so locked in. I was like, okay, we're going to burn out early. Like, ooh, this is scary. But it just shows them what they need to do in order to perform well. Got to flip it around and continue to do that next week. Obviously, more guys got to step up, more guys get opportunities. So really proud of them. Really proud of everything we asked them to do, and they bought into it.
You talked about, excuse me, wanting to stop the leaky yards. You got into those third down, fourth down, and long situations. Were you pleased with that effort to create those long down and distances?
Yeah, without looking at the film, just kind of being on the sideline in the moment. And if you watch me out there, I was a little stressful today because I really wanted to win this game for the players. Because whenever you ask a player to buy completely in, you want some type of return. It's hard. It's like, it's your kids, right? You want them, hey, if you study, you're going to get an A on the test. And if they don't get an A, you don't have many more times to tell you, hey, if you study, you can get an A on the test. So I really wanted to win it for them. Just looking at from the sideline, I thought we did a better job in the field. I thought we still got to get cleaned up in the red area. There's some times we got the ball down there that we kind of let them leak into the end zone, leak in to get some extra yards. So I thought we did a better job in the field. We got to do a better job in the red area. We'd been really, really good in the red area just from a defensive standpoint. Today, I think we let some leak out. Now, again, part of that, App State's a good team. Like, I want to be very clear. Offensively, really explosive, and they stress you. But I thought that's probably one area where we can get a little bit better. Leaky yards in the red area, because those lead to touchdowns instead of field goals. I thought we did a better job in the field. I think they were 3 for 14 on third down. So we did a better job in the field. Typically, that comes from being really good on first and second down. When you get down there in the red area, all of a sudden now you start leaking in 2nd and 4, or 2nd and 6, 2nd and 3. Next thing you know, you're in the end zone. So that's where we got to get cleaned up moving forward.
And I know that obviously.
You knew? You knew?
I'm here for WMUL.
Oh, well, welcome. This is our little quaint group. We have fun in here. Yeah, welcome, man. Yeah,
But
it's good.
my question to you is, obviously Braylon Braxton was fantastic today. But Stone Earl, you mentioned you considered putting him in the second half. Losing Elijah Metcalf in the first half of the ball game, he has had a terrific rapport all season with Stone. Did that factor into keeping Braxton in the game for the second half?
No, I didn't even know that. Elijah was – I knew he was down, but I didn't know at what level. What factored into keeping Braylon in? We were moving the ball. Again, it goes back to being efficient on offense, I think Coach Deggy may change the name to Run Rate because we scored 52 points running the ball today. But I think it goes back to, I don't know if they had a plan for what we were doing. So if it's working, you stick with it. We would be idiots to try to do something else and give them a chance to get back into it. Like I said, we had a plan, but it didn't affect, who was in there. Those guys get, so many reps with each other. It didn't affect our decision. Our decision was affected by, it's productive. We were moving the ball. We really only used a third of the play sheet just because of what was working. We didn't get in many third downs, third and longs. That one's the one that trips you up typically. I think we may have had 1 or 2 over 6 yards. So it just kind of was based on the flow of the game,
All righty. Thank you, Coach Huff.
Thanks, guys. We got 6 hours for you guys to write how bad of a coach I am, and then we got to flip the page to the next opponent. But really appreciate really appreciate the homecoming crowd, phenomenal students. Thank you, alumni. Thank you, former players. Thank you. I've got so many texts and calls. Yesterday, my office felt like a doctor's office. So many guys coming through, just hey coach. I appreciate every single person that was in those seats today. Appreciate every single student, every single alumni. The homecoming court, everything. Everyone, go out and watch soccer tomorrow after church. go out and support them. This is what Huntington's about. So really good job. Got a lot of work to do. See you guys next week. Go Herd.